quiero presentar mis fervorosas felicitaciones a la importantísima Semana Internacional UNESCO 2012 de la Educación Artística. Saludo afectuosamente a todos aquellos que trabajan y participan activamente en el sistema coreano de la educación artística. Cuando en 1975 fundamos el Sistema Nacional de las Orquestas y Coros Juveniles e Infantiles de Venezuela, teníamos un sueño: ayudar a todos nuestros jóvenes y niños a construir su autoestima, promover su comunicación recíproca a través de la música y crear una comunidad saludable y segura mediante la cultura y las artes. Han pasado ya 38 años y aquel sueño es ya mucho más que eso. Diversos países alrededor del mundo comparten ahora los valores de nuestro sistema. Nos alegra inmensamente saber que Corea ha dado un paso al frente implementando estos valores en todos los ámbitos de la cultura artística a través de la educación. Más aún, Corea nos brinda un hermoso ejemplo al proclamar la Semana Internacional UNESCO de la Educación Artística. Gracias a este noble esfuerzo, la cuarta semana de mayo será en adelante causa de celebración y al mismo tiempo reafirmación de la importancia vital de la cultura y las artes en nuestra existencia. Soñar solos no es más que un sueño. Soñar con otros es transfigurar la realidad. Estoy seguro de que Venezuela, Corea y todas las naciones del mundo podrán soñar juntas en transformar el mundo mediante la cultura y las artes. Auguro un gran éxito a esta Semana Internacional de la Educación Artística y espero poder visitarlo muy pronto de nuevo en Corea. Muchas gracias.
네, 안녕하십니까. 반갑습니다, 여러분. 예, 오늘 2012년 세계문화예술교육주간 개막식에 참석하신 여러분들을 환영합니다. 휴일 저녁임에도 불구하고 자리를 함께해 주신 내빈 여러분, 특별 강연을 위해서 내한하신 로버트 스티븐슨 유투 아티스트 디렉터님과 에두아르도 멘데스 베네수엘라 시몬 볼리바르 음악재단 대표님께 감사를 드립니다. 매년 5월 넷째 주는 한국 정부의 제의로 인해서 지난해 11월 제36차 유네스코 총회에서 만장일치로 채택된 세계문화예술교육주간입니다. 문화예술교육사에 큰 한획을 그은 획기적인 일이 아닐 수 없습니다. 이 기념주간이 지정되기까지 열정을 다해 문화예술 교육 발전을 위해 헌신해 주신 여러분들께 이 자리를 빌려 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 올해 첫 번째로 맞는 이 뜻깊은 주간을 기념하고자 저희 문화체육관광부는 유네스코와 공동으로 서울과 파리에서 개막식을 갖고 다양한 문화예술 교육 행사를 개최합니다. 이번 주 수요일 5월 23일에는 파리 유네스코 본부에서 저희 문화부 최강식 장관님과 유네스코 이리나 보코바 사무총장님, 그리고 국가별 유네스코 상주 대표단 등 800여 명의 인사가 참여한 가운데 개막식을 갖고 다채로운 프로그램을 진행할 예정입니다. 또 국내에서는 오늘부터 26일까지 서울을 비롯한 전국 16개 시도 학교와 문화시설에서 문화 이해를 통한 삶의 이해라는 주제로 250여 개의 유익하고 흥미로운 문화예술 교육 프로그램을 진행할 계획입니다. 명실공히 2012년 세계문화예술교육주간은 문화예술 교육에 대한 정부의 정책적 의지를 다지고 국민들의 자발적인 참여와 체험을 바탕으로 해서 삶의 가치를 재발견하게 되는 축제의 장이 될 것입니다. 모든 국민은 나이, 성별, 장애, 경제적 여건 등에 관계없이 자신의 관심과 적성에 따라 평생에 걸쳐 문화예술을 체계적으로 학습하고 교육받을 기회를 균등하게 보장받아야 한다고 생각합니다. 특히 자라나는 학생들에게 다양한 감수성과 창의력, 그리고 상상력을 체득할 수 있도록 문화예술 교육의 기회를 더욱 확대 제공하는 것은 무엇보다도 중요한 일입니다. 따라서 우리 문화체육관광부는 전 국민의 평생 문화예술 교육 환경 구축을 목표로 해서 국민의 창의성과 문화 향유권을 높이기 위해 학생들과 사회 각 계층을 대상으로 다양한 문화예술 교육을 적극 지원하고 있습니다. 아시는 분은 많이 아시겠지만 저희가 2000년부터 초중등학교에 예술 강사를 파견 운영하고 있고, 또 2008년에는 교육부와 업무 협약을 맺어서 지원을 지속적으로 할 수 있도록 확대해 나가고 있습니다. 예술꽃 씨앗학교, 그리고 문화예술 명예교사제 등과 같은 특성화 프로그램을 운영토록 지원하는 한편, 미술관, 박물관 등 문화예술 기관을 활용해서 학교 밖에서 문화예술 교육도 더욱 확대될 수 있도록 지원하고 있습니다. 아울러서 사회문화예술 교육 분야에 있어서도 우리 아동이나 노인, 장애인 복지기관, 그리고 군부대, 또 교정시설 등에까지 문화예술 교육을 지원하고 있으며, 또한 꿈의 오케스트라를 육성해서 아동과 청소년들의 다면적이고 균형적인 성장을 돕고 있습니다. 참여자 공동의 협력에 의해서만 완성되는 오케스트라처럼 저는 우리 부의 문화예술 교육 지원 정책이 시민들의 참여를 유도하고 소통과 화합의 문화를 만드는 데 기여를 하고 있다고 확신을 합니다. 저희 부는 지난 2010년 제2회 세계문화예술교육대회, 이때 서울에서 개최를 했습니다만, 이때 채택된 서울 어젠다인 예술교육 발전의 목표를 이행하기 위해서 문화예술교육 활성화와 그 질적 수준 향상을 역점적으로 추진해오고 있습니다. 앞으로 세계문화예술교육 발전에서 또 선도적인 역할을 수행할 수 있도록 국제교류협력 증진에도 최선을 다할 생각입니다. 저희 부가 추진하고 있는 문화예술교육 정책이 원활하고 성공적으로 수행될 수 있도록 많은 관심과 성원을 보내주시면 더욱 감사하겠습니다. 이 문화예술 교육을 받고 자란 세대들의 성장이 우리의 삶을 변화시키고 행복 지수를 아마 놀라울 정도로 높여줄 것으로 기대를 합니다. 아무쪼록 첫 번째 맞는 세계문화예술교육주간이 알찬 성과를 거두어서 문화예술 교육의 발전에 밑거름이 되길 기원드리면서 개막 인사를 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Every country on earth at the moment is reforming public education. There are two reasons for it. The first of them is economic. People are trying to work out, how do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that? Given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week, as the recent turmoil is demonstrating. How do we do that? The second, though, is cultural. Every country on earth is trying to figure out, how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of the process of globalization. How do we square that circle? The problem is they're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. When we went to school, we were kept there with a story, which was if you worked hard and did well and got a college degree, you would have a job. Our kids don't believe that. And they're right not to, by the way. You're better having a degree than not, but it's not a guarantee anymore. And particularly not if the route to it marginalizes most of the things that you think are important about yourself. Some people say we have to raise standards as if this is a breakthrough. You know, like, really, yes, we should. Why would you lower them? You know, I mean, I haven't come across an argument that persuades me of lowering them. But raising them, of course we should raise them. The problem is that the current system of education was designed and conceived and structured for a different age. It was conceived in the intellectual culture of the Enlightenment and in the economic circumstances of the Industrial Revolution. Before the middle of the 19th century, there were no systems of public education. Not really. I mean, you could get educated by Jesuits, you know, if you had the money. But public education, paid for from taxation, compulsory to everybody and free at the point of delivery, that was a revolutionary idea. And many people objected to it. They said it's not possible for many street kids, working class children, to benefit from public education. They're incapable of learning to read and write, and why are we spending time on this? So there's also built into it a whole series of assumptions about social structure and capacity. It was driven by an economic imperative of the time, but running right through it was an intellectual model of the mind, which was essentially the Enlightenment view of intelligence. That real intelligence consists in the capacity for a certain type of deductive reasoning and a knowledge of the classics originally, what we come to think of as academic ability. And this is deep in the gene pool of public education, that there are really two types of people, academic and non-academic, smart people and non-smart people. And the consequence of that is that many brilliant people think they're not, because they've been judged against this particular view of the mind. Schools are still pretty much organised on factory lines, ringing bells, separate facilities, specialised into separate subjects. We still educate children by batches. You know, we put them through the system by age group. Why do we do that? You know, why is there this assumption that the most important thing kids have in common is how old they are? You know, it's like the most important thing about them is their date of manufacture. You know what I mean? Well, I know kids who are much better than other kids at the same age in different disciplines, you know, or at different times of the day, or better in smaller groups than in large groups, or sometimes they want to be on their own. If you're interested in the model of learning, you don't start from this production line mentality. It's essentially about conformity, and increasingly it's about that as you look at the growth of standardized testing and standardized curricula. And it's about standardization. I believe we've got to go in the exact opposite direction. That's what I mean about changing the paradigm. We have to think differently about human capacity. We have to get over this old conception of academic, non-academic, abstract, theoretical, vocational, and see it for what it is, a myth. Secondly, we have to recognize that most great learning happens in groups, that collaboration is the stuff of growth. If we atomize people and separate them and judge them separately, we form a kind of disjunction between them and their natural learning environment. And thirdly, it's crucially about the culture of our institutions, the habits of the institution and the habitats that they occupy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Ken Robinson. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm very honoured to be here. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet the wonderful people of Korea, and I want to thank Nordian, who have been involved in Blast Beat in the last year. I'd like to thank the Vice Minister, Kwak Jong-in, and Park Jae-yun, and apologies for my pronunciation, who are doing so much to support education and young people in this country. I suppose I'm here to challenge some of the paradigms of education, and I'm one of those people who's a social entrepreneur out there to try and change and make a difference to the way that young people are viewed and the way that young people are educated. I'm very passionate about education. I believe that education is the single most important thing in anybody's life, because with a good education we gain wisdom. Wisdom banishes the problems that we have, and this ignorance is the problem that we have in the world. But let's look at analyze a little bit what Ken Robinson is saying. Really what he's saying is we need some new dynamic approaches to the education system, because as we know, the education system that we have inherited does not actually reach a lot of children. It's fine for many, but there are many, and in some countries up to 50%, where the education system doesn't really inspire them. And I suppose I was one of those children. I was bored at an early age and didn't engage very well in school. Nothing to do with my intelligence, but just to do with me wanting to do other things that I thought were more interesting. So what we need to do with young people now is we need to give them the space. We give them, actually allow them to follow their passions, because everybody has different skills, everybody has different passions, and if we can tap into that passion in a young person at an early age, then they never have to work again, because they can work on what they're passionate about. I don't consider I work at all, because I just do what I love doing. So every day for me is a holiday. So being here is a fantastic holiday, and thank you for that. So I developed the Blast Beat program. My background is the music industry. We'll get something up here. Fine, so this is the implications we have now of Robbins. We need to give people the space, young people the space, the information, and very especially the mentorship that they need. The mentorship from older people who have the wisdom and knowledge, and to join them with younger people to inspire them. We need to tap into their innate passions and skills. So the Blast Beat program is one of the ways of doing this. It's a program based around the creation of social enterprises. So we teach business skills rather than music. We empower young people to set up and run their own events companies in schools or youth clubs or in universities. They create their own social events where they actually invite bands to play. It's a competition. This has been running now. I started in Ireland, where I'm from, and then it spread to Belgium, then to Northern Ireland. Then I got an award as a social entrepreneur, which gave me some funding to start in South Africa. Then it went to the States, and then it went to Japan. These are some of the shows that we do in London. This is the finals in the O2 Arena, which is the most popular venue in Europe. These are the students that are actually running their events programs. So these students here are from the Bridge Academy in London. And as you can see, I think the guy on the second on the left I think he's half Korean but anyway, a very diverse group of children who have actually set up and run successfully their own events company. They put on an event in their school. It was the first time there was ever a musical event in their school, and it was run by them. Very successful. They made a profit, and they returned that profit to their own youth club so they could continue to put on events for young people. This is a minister on the left, a minister for social enterprise, and this is some of the winning students who formed their ESEs. So within Blast Beat, this is the final of Blast Beat in the O2 Arena. We had 14,000 young people there celebrating the work of all the young people. I don't know who this guy on the right is, but anybody else who knows who he is, tell me. So this is a quick history of Blast Beat. As I said earlier, I'm one of those kids that really wasn't inspired by the education system. And so by the time I was 16, I had a job. By the time I was 17, a bit like Richard Branson, I'd started my own business. And then I got involved. I went to university as a mature student to study psychology, but no sooner was I in the university than I was asked to help organise an event of the Irish Arts in London, which I did. And one of the bands that we brought to London that could not get any offers from record companies at the time was U2. And because of that concert that I staged in London, they got a record deal, and the rest is history. I think they now employ tens of thousands of people around the world. I think their turnover last year was $500,000. So that's a big business. Even though it's music and it's art, it's business. I suppose it was Bono in a way that actually sort of in a way inspired this idea that I thought that if Bono could do it, then anybody can do it, because he's no more intelligent than I am or you are. So the aspiration now, of course, is to bring this. Already we've started Blast Beat in Korea, and we'd like to have a national program here. So what Blast Beat does, I suppose the main thing that when we ask the children, every year we ask the children what their opinions are, one of the things they always say is, it gave me confidence. They said that this is important for them. And it gives them experience, life skills experience, outside of school, outside of the usual education system. They consistently say this. It gives them an opportunity to express themselves in a way they have never done before. It gives young people an opportunity to actually work together as a team, to put on events. So within Blast Beat, you've got two parts to it. You've got the two competitions in one. One of the sides is obviously all of the event companies compete to be the best, and they get seed capital and sponsorship to continue. Then you get the music side, of course, the best artists or bands, they win record deals, management deals, and of course that's a business I've been in for 30 years. But the main thing we do is teach young people how to be social entrepreneurs. Now, if I go into a school of 15-year-olds anywhere and say, oh, hello, I'm here to teach you how to run a business, they would just close off immediately, be bored. If I go in and say, who here likes music? All the hands go up, okay? Then I say, who wants to make some money? And then all the hands stay up, right? And I say, okay, that's Blast Beat, but here's the catch. When you make the money from your concert, you're going to set up and run your own events company, put on a concert. You have to give back 25% to a charity of your choosing or a cause, or else you can take all of your profits and put it into your own youth club and establish a youth club and continue to doing these events. And that's usually what happens, is the students continue. So it's a self-fulfilling, self-propelling opportunity. So in the process of doing that, because they're earning money and working together as a team, and they're thinking about giving back, and they're very happy to do this, if we can get this idea into the heads of young people at an early age, then we can create a society of more enlightened young people who will, I hope, continue to give back throughout the course of their lives. This is a life-changing and a world-changing opportunity and possibility, because if everyone gave back a little bit more, we wouldn't have some of the poverty that we have in this world today. Another important thing that Blast Beat does is it bridges the world of education with the world of business and social enterprise. This is very important. In today's world, there's a lot of unemployment for young people. This is something that we as a society globally have to address. The best way we can do this is to engage experienced people from the business world or the community to work with young people. How do we do this? We need a program that can interface between the two, because it's very hard for somebody in an office block to go into a school or into a youth club without something to do. Now, if they're working with the children to help them put on an event, that's something that anybody in this room can do. And it allows older people to work with younger people. It allows the generational gap to be bridged, because also now there is this technology gap. Young people socialize in a very different way today than they did in my time, or indeed even 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there wasn't social media like we have it now. So we need to bridge the intergenerational gap, and being mentors has worked very well for Blastbeat. This is from South Africa. This kid here, this young man, is actually from the township near Cape Town, Kalicha Township, and he won Blastbeat in his country and came to Ireland for a final. It's very inspiring for me when I see how much that young people can rise up out of their own difficulties once they're given the opportunity. So really, the Blastbeat vision is to change the world. It's a very simple, small vision. And we can change the world by empowering young people. How we empower them is to give them the opportunity to run their own lives, to decide what they want to do, and to really encourage and work with them in what they are passionate about. And I really know this to be the truth. If we can tap into the passionate side of young people and whatever their interest is, that's what we need to focus on, and not try and fit all these young people into some box that we make up in an office somewhere. We've got to tap into their interests and their passions. That is a life-changing thing. So we are finding the leaders of tomorrow, not just in music. When we say the stars, I'm talking about the stars in business as well as music, and arts, in video, in film. You know, the entertainment industry in Korea is a very successful industry. I'm doing business with Korea in music. Right? It's an international business, hugely important, and employs an awful lot of people, not only in this country, but around the world. So we're looking for a new generation of leaders. We can find them if we give them the freedom to be themselves. These are the change makers of tomorrow. These are the kids that are going to be running this country, my country, and the world in the future. We owe it to these young people to give them opportunities like Blastbeat. I'm not saying it's the only one, but it's the type of thing that we need to do more of. So I'm very passionate about breaking down the barriers also between the generations, the schools, and the workplace. There is a big gap between the workplace and schools. We need to bridge that gap. The only way to bridge it really is to engage, adult people, volunteers. It doesn't have to cost the state. There's plenty of people, I'm sure in this audience today, who would love if they had the opportunity to work with young people, and it's such an inspiring, wonderful thing to do, because believe me, every day I do this, and every day I'm a rich man because of the joy of working with young people and seeing how wonderful they are. So these are just some of the musicians that we're helping, and not only in music but also in business, as I say. It's more a business thing that we're doing. And it's every type of creed, race, it doesn't matter. Music and business are the two universal languages. And if we can put them together in a program that works, which Blastbeat does, it's extremely powerful, and it engages the children. And the problem is, with kids like me, it's the kids that are not engaged that we need to engage. Music is the key to that engagement, and you mix it with career opportunities for them, and then you've got a winning formula. So, creative, entrepreneurial, socially responsible children, that's the future. So we can change the world by inspiring our children to not be so greedy as the past. We've made so many mistakes in my generation. People were taking from the planet and from the world and not really giving back enough. We need to change now, because there is no future without this change. And it starts with the children. So we're going to bridge between the teens and the mentors. Teenagers really need the help of older people. Blastbeat is a good program that it allows this change, this help to happen. A very quick story. Here's one of the artists we're working with. This guy is just last week offered a big record deal in the UK and a publishing deal. He came from York. He's a minority in the sense his mother is Danish, his father is from Ghana, and he got bullied in school. He was having a miserable time. York is very, very white area. There's a lot of racism up there. And he was having a tough life, but then he did Blastbeat. He became CEO of his company. He started putting on events. He was successful. He also was successful as an artist, and he has, the pain of his upbringing is quite, I won't go into it, but he's had a painful upbringing. He was able to write about that in his songs. And now, as a result, 1 year later, he's independently, he's got a job, he's got a career, he's doing very well, and he's changed as a human being. It's life-changing for him. That's Kwam's official. If you want to know who he is, you'll hear some of his music at the end. And that's his Twitter feed there, you see on top of his head. And this is another kid who was also in trouble in London, age 11, in a gang in East Croydon, getting into trouble, not attending school, was heading down the wrong path. He got involved in blast beat in his primary school. We have a primary school version. And now his life has changed. He's a grade A student. He's doing extremely well in music as well. And he's now engaged where he wasn't before. He's found a new route, and that route is music and the joy of being involved in music. But it helps him in every other way as well. And actually, as you can see, Kwams and Kamal Kelly have become brothers. They are music brothers, and they support each other. That's Kamal with his mum, who's a wonderful lady. And I think really I'm coming to the end now. Is what are the conclusions? Well, I think that the conclusions I want to leave you with, some thoughts, is that actually everybody can affect this change. The change comes from within us. I suppose the philosophy underneath blast beat is more a Dhamma philosophy anyway. It's more a Buddhist philosophy than anything else. If you're a student in this room and you want to get involved in blast beat, please come and talk to me afterwards. If you're an educationalist, please come and talk to me afterwards. Or if you're in business and you want to mentor some young people and to get involved in helping them to be the best they can be, please come and talk to me afterwards. I'm very, very excited to see if we can develop this program in Korea. And I'd like to link Korea and the UK and Japan, where we're also doing blast beat, much more closely. And I think there's great opportunities to do that. So thank you very much for your interest and your attention. And I look forward to talking to you afterwards. Thank you. We're going to leave you with a few videos now. Thank you.
I think what Blast Beat offers is a really fun way for connecting young people with the skills that they're going to need in life, particularly if they're interested in getting involved in business and the world of work. And it's just a brilliant way of connecting young people's excitement and passion around music and the chance to develop those skills by actually setting up a real business and running a real concert.
Like, if I didn't do Blast Beat, I wouldn't be where I am now, because I'm at the Brit School and I'm studying broadcasting and digital communication. And the reason why I took that path is because Blast Beats open up multimedia stuff to me, like entrepreneurial skills. It's taught me like how to apply, how to be confident and stuff. So it has changed my life.
And I got involved with Blast Beat because I went to a presentation and Robert Stevenson, the head of Blast Beat, presented at that. I was hugely impressed with what I saw, and I could see the value that that would bring to my own school. It's been a tremendous activity for my students and my staff as well, and I would recommend it to any of you.
What's exciting about Blast Beat is that it teaches all the essentials of business, not in a classroom, but in real life. When ultimately they did succeed, they made a profit, they produced an event, it was transformative for the children. Many of them had never done anything quite so difficult before, and the sense of relief, but also the sense of triumph that those children experienced the day after that event, and we witnessed because we were there at the debrief. Engaging with Blast Beat, engaging with a school through Blast Beat is tremendously entertaining. You can see children changing in front of your eyes. You can see them doing something that they enjoy, and you can see our own consultants as they work with those children doing something that they enjoy.
creo que a la Declaración Universal de los Derechos Humanos
And I think that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights,
le faltó agregar el derecho de la humanidad al arte.
it's lacking the humanity's right to arts.
Un niño materialmente pobre se convierte en rico espiritual a través de la música. Y una vez que ya es un rico espiritual a través de la música, su mente, su alma, su espíritu están preparados para salir adelante. Ahora estamos batallando desde el campo del arte para unir esta nueva generación, estos niños, estos jóvenes de toda América Latina, bajo el ideal de la música, hacia un continente que sea realmente lo que quería el libertador Simón Bolívar, que fuese la esperanza misma del mundo. Y la música es eso: felicidad, paz, esperanza, integración, fuerza, energía infinita. Han sido, en primer lugar, años de formación de maestros. De capacitación de niños y de jóvenes en gran escala. Hemos tenido que luchar mucho para obtener el apoyo, los recursos y la gente, el concurso humano necesario para llevar a cabo el proyecto. Cuando en un barrio pobre se formaba una orquesta, ¿verdad?, que ocupaba el tiempo libre de los niños en algo útil y noble, las familias se convertían en las primeras aliadas. Porque ¿qué madre no quiere tener a su niño, verdad, en su tiempo libre, tocando un violín y no expuesto en la calle, ¿verdad?, a las tentaciones, ¿verdad?, de la droga, de la violencia, de la pornografía infantil? Era pues que para las familias era una barrera, era un elemento de prevención muy importante.
Yo al ver los 1.400 niños que tenemos aquí, ya tú sabes que algo está pasando y que algo está cambiando. O sea, no hace falta buscar mucho. Solamente verlo con tus propios ojos. Es increíble.
La bruja se puso brava y el maíz los convirtió. Que sí, que no, pero no le resultó.
Esto es realmente un programa de inclusión social muy efectivo y muy rápido, porque el niño arrastra tras sí a su familia, a la madre, al padre, a los hermanos, a los vecinos. Entonces integra a su alrededor la comunidad de una manera muy eficaz. No es solo la educación del intelecto, no es solo enriquecer el conocimiento intelectual, ¿no?, es también, ¿verdad?, educar la sensibilidad, el potencial estético que todo niño, todo joven tiene, algo que es utilísimo para garantizar una calidad de vida mucho mayor a un muchacho, ¿no?, y salvarlo de tantos peligros y de los malos caminos. Entonces nosotros tenemos que luchar por incluir el mayor número, todos si es posible, incluirlos en este mundo bello, ¿verdad?, que es nuestro mundo de la música, de la orquesta, del canto, ¿verdad?, del arte.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Vice Minister, Ms. Park, Mr. Ambassador. Well, it is a pleasure. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you for everyone to come to listen a few ideas of what we do in Venezuela. I've been listening during the whole day. I'm joining the activities that are prepared for this week. And I'm so happy about everyone here is joining arts. This word is very short, but means a lot. And when we talk about art, we should talk about a new concept, which is a social art. You see in this video the idea of our founder, which is Maestro José Antonio Abreu, to bring art to everyone. And this is the vision of the organization I represent here, which is the Fundación Musical Simón Bolívar, is Simón Bolívar Music Foundation, which is an organization that belongs to the state of Venezuela and actually belongs to the president's office in Venezuela. The idea of Maestro Abreu, as you saw the video, very moving video actually, is to give the opportunity to everyone to come to the arts. No matter who is, maybe you think about art as someone who is talented for that, but every one of us has his heart with the arts, and you saw this in the video. You can see everyone in Venezuela, no matter who John is, what age they have. Everyone joins the programs. And the main idea of this is to share what the people who knows can let the people who doesn't know to do it. Maestro Abreu changed the concept of the art that traditionally came from minorities to minorities and expand this concept that everyone can do art, everyone can be an artist. So it's a concept for majorities to majorities. The arts have represent as well a power to change communities, to change the people, to transform the individuals. As you say, Maestro said that arts means things like hope, joy, happiness. In our case, you see maybe all different countries has different problems. In our case, we try to bring all those problems to the nucleus of the orchestra to give the kids some hope and to teach them through the way of we teach music in our orchestra. Concept of solidarity, for example. Every kid who joins an orchestra has to be really, really engaged with the project, with the others. Because if not, as you know, if you are not okay in the orchestra doesn't work. So everyone has to be working together. You will see the orchestra you need to learn as well teamwork and discipline. You need to be better and better every day, because if not, as well, the project doesn't work for you. So you have to be ahead of the next kids that are to you. You should listen to them. You should understand what is happening around in the orchestra, because if not, you are not able to perform, you are not able, and then you won't feel included on that program. This is a very important thing. When you are a kid and you live probably in a place that is a poor area, has not so much opportunities, maybe it's even far away from the center of the city, you need to have something in what to believe. You need to feel special. You need to be someone for the future. When you go to the orchestra and spend 3, 4, 5 months since you got the instrument, the first lesson, then you perform a concert for your neighbors, for your family, in your community, or even in a national theater, for example, you will get the self-esteem that you need as well to keep going with your life. And in our case, you see the word quality. We are not a baby care center, okay? We teach real music. We teach real things with a lot of quality, high standards of music. You saw the video, all the performances of our children orchestras or youth orchestras give around the world. And that's why, because of the quality. That's why we got people like Gustavo Dudamel, big soloists around the world as well, is because the quality. They, from the the first day they start in our nucleo, they believe what they can do. They feel they can play, and they can go ahead with a really, really good quality. We have many programs, and I will give you a short notice about how many programs we have, or different steps inside the system. And all of them include in the inclusion. The word inclusion is very important. Everyone, no matter who you think, everyone who should be inclusive in the arts. We have the babies program. We start with very easy instruments, flute, some percussion instruments. They start to be stimulated for music. They even doesn't know how to read, how to write, but they know how to listen music and how to play something. Then they go through the children orchestras, where they start really to read music, and they start really to know how to play the instrument. Luego, then, you go to the youth orchestra. This youth orchestra is the main activity where they focus on, to go further to the quality, to go further to the repertoire, and to start, as you see in the picture, you can see that it is a youth orchestra of Caracas, which is an almost professional orchestra. And you see soloists from the same orchestra. So everyone has to be involved on this process. Then, I was very happy at the beginning when we listened the first ensemble, because then it's an example of inclusion. We have our special education program as well, White Hands Choir, with this a very special thing. You know, everyone, no matter which disease they have, they can have music therapy, and we develop a special methodology for them as well to join the music. They can perform. They can go for the orchestra, even the they learn instruments, they can go for the orchestra and play with the orchestra. They can do their own choir. You see why the White Hands is? Because they do the international sign language, and they sing with the singers, but with the hands. And this is very important. They feel so happy and so included that makes you think about the power of the arts. Then, as well, we have the choral program. You see a huge choir there. This is just an example. This is 1,300 choir. We have a really big network around all the country with choirs. Choirs is a very important thing, because then start to teach you how to listen, how to sing music, you know. And the choirs as well is not so expensive program. You can join people with teaching choir, 100 or 200 kids with one teacher. And this is very important because you can capture a lot of kids inside the program. There, another very important thing, we develop the traditional music of Venezuela. Every country that we go with a program in the world, we recommend to do folk music, traditional music, because it's easier to start teaching a kid with the music they are used to listen, with the instruments they are used to listen. And this is very important because then you can develop as well the nationalism, okay? They feel identified with what they are doing. We have a very important program in Venezuela. It's dedicated to jails. Yes, you're listening okay, jails. We have a program inside the jails, which we call penitentiary orchestras. You know the problems that jails have. I don't have to explain it. And we go with our system, which was a really challenge for us, to adapt our methodology that we developed with kids and with youngs to adults. And there we have an example of traditional music and orchestras as well. They have performed in the national theaters. They go with the security guards and wherever to the theaters and perform. And they have been there in the theaters, and their families goes to see them. This is very important, because then they can show another side of what they are, okay? And it also shows you the power of music, the power of art. No matter what are you doing in your life, you can be an artist as well. This is another example. You see adults playing instruments, traditional and orchestral instruments. This is a real resume what I am talking about. If you go to a community nuclei is the work we do for our music schools. We have 280 around the country. You get values. These values, as I told you, is very important. The teamwork, discipline, hope, and other things you get when you are in the nuclear. You can keep that for your whole life, no matter if you will keep as a musician. But these values are inside you. If you start learning since you are 4 years old, you will be a disciplined guy forever, for example. And you go to their families, because if you are engaged with the program, you go to your house and you will tell everyone in your house what you are learning. If you go to a concert, your parents go to your concert, they will listen to you, they will feel involved in the project. So the impact of that values, not only for the kids, is for their families as well. So that's why we will get better citizens. And in our case, we are not trying to develop artists. We are trying to develop better citizens. If they can keep going, if they want to keep going, they can do it in our organization. But if not, you will get a better citizen. Anyway, if they become engineers or lawyers or whatever, they will be better citizens. You see here some pictures about the job we do in Venezuela. Here you see a very important picture, the parents helping kids to build their own instruments, the paper instruments. They get paper instruments before get the formal instruments. And that is very important. The parents share what they do. And this is very important, the support of the families. What about arts education? Maestro Abreu talked about creativity, about beauty, sensibility. You can do sports, you can do other things as well. You can keep the people outside of the street and try to make the free time occupied with some activity. But art is the only one who develops your sensibility, brings the beauty that you have inside and take it out, as well as the creativity. You can see all these famous artists. You see Yo-Yo Ma, you see now Simon Rattle is joining the program. I know, maybe you know him is Maestro Kwak Sung, a Korean. He's 20 years ago coming to Venezuela, so it's a long relationship between our countries. And he believed, as well as the others, in what we are doing, the beauty of the art we are doing, the high quality, high standards of what we are doing in our country with this. So, as I said, I am coming here not only to show what we are doing in Venezuela, and you can understand that. I want you to think really about this. I want you to go out of this conference maybe in a few minutes and to think really what the power of music, the power of the art we have in our hands. I suppose here is a lot of managers, a lot of music or arts educators. And this is the idea, the new idea, the social art, the social music, the social culture. We need to bring this to everyone. As you see, Maestro said in the video, we have to include everyone if it's possible. Everyone has talent. Everyone can do it. And this is the thing. You can be not only an audience for art, you could be artists. No matter how good you are, but you can be artists. This is a little example of how many countries we are now. As you see, it's a long list. But now, I think we should stop by in Korea. Okay? We are starting the Sistema in Korea now. And I have to thanks to Cases Foundation, which is our partner here in Korea. They are very enthusiastic. I have to also thanks to the Vice Minister, because they are supporting a lot this idea. I think they believe now what I am talking about. I hope everyone else here believe on this. So we already signed an agreement. We are starting the Sistema in Korea, and we are starting this week with the workshops. So the Sistema is already here. So for us, it's very important, I think, for you as well. So I want to ask you for an applause for cases, people who is really joining this program from now. I want to finish only with this, short but powerful phrase that you can read it by yourself. This music transforms adversity into hope and challenge into progress. My challenge is that in each neighborhood of each country in the world will be a choir and an orchestra. José Antonio Abreu. Thank you.
안녕하십니까. 한국문화예술교육진흥원 박재현 원장입니다. 저는 오늘부터 일주일간 개최될 2012년 세계문화예술교육주간의 개막을 선언하기 위해 이 자리에 섰습니다. 지금 이 자리가 저에게 주는 감격은 이루 말로 표현할 수 없습니다. 늘 저희의 든든한 후원자가 되어주시는 문화체육관광부 차관님 감사합니다. 그 외에 외국에서 오신 손님들뿐 아니라 늘 문화예술교육을 아껴주시는 여러분들과 함께 이런 자리에서 그 뜻깊은 개막을 선언하게 돼서 무한한 영광으로 생각합니다. 여러분께서도 기억하고 계실 2010년 유네스코 세계문화예술교육대회는 5월 넷째 주를 주간으로 선포하는 데 결정적인 계기를 마련했던 그런 행사입니다. 저는 2010년 세계대회 집행위원이자 국제자문위원으로 참여하여 각국 공통의 예술교육 발전 목표, 즉 서울 아젠다로 명명하고 특히 서울이란 이름을 넣음으로써 그 서울 아젠다는 이제 세계 만방에서 그 예술교육 발전 목표로서 위임을 다하고 있습니다. 세계문화예술교육주간 지정의 필요성을 설득하는데 제 작은 힘이나마 보탠 경험을 하고 있었습니다. 그리고 이렇게 마침내 유네스코 지정 세계문화예술교육주간을 기념하는 그 첫 번째 해의 개막식 자리에 서게 되었습니다. 문화예술교육에 대한 관심과 애정을 갖고 이 자리에 함께하고 있는 우리 모두가 이루어낸 결실이라고 말씀드릴 수 있습니다. 국내에서뿐만 아니라 프랑스 파리의 유네스코 본부에서도 이번 주 수요일 한국과 유네스코 공동으로 첫 번째 주간을 기념하는 문화행사와 심포지움이 세계 각국 대표를 모시고 개최될 예정입니다. 이 결실이 또 다른 결실로 계속 이어질 수 있도록 하기 위해서 우리는 이제 문화예술교육이 얼마나 중요한지 단지 외치고 주장하기보다는 좀 더 나은 삶을 살기 위해서 실제로 느끼고 그 구체적인 효과를 체감할 수 있도록 해야 합니다. 앞서 발표해 주신 브라스비트 설립자 로버트 스티븐슨과 또 시몬 볼리바르 음악재단 에두아르드 멘데스 대표가 말씀해 주신 사례도 바로 삶에 실질적으로 기여하는 문화예술 교육에 대한 것이었습니다. 오늘부터 펼쳐지는 다채로운 주간 행사 프로그램에 참여하시면서 개인의 삶, 서로의 삶, 공동체의 삶을 변화시킬 수 있는 문화예술 교육에 대한 생각과 경험을 함께 나눌 수 있었으면 합니다. 자, 이제 7일간의 여정을 떠나보려고 합니다. 함께 해주시기 바라고요. 여러분, 2012년 세계문화예술교육주간 그 개막을 선언합니다.
이것으로 2012 세계문화예술교육주간 개막식을 마치도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 5월 20일부터 26일까지 개최되는 세계문화예술교육주간 동안 엘시스테마 오픈포럼, 예술강사 유랑단, 명예교사 톡 콘서트, 공유 공감 세미나, 지역 문화예술교육 체험 워크샵, 그리고 앙코르 내청춘 공연 및 아트 해프닝 음악회 등 어린이와 청소년, 시민이 함께하는 다채로운 프로그램이 전국 16개 시도에서 펼쳐집니다. 많은 관심과 참여 부탁드리겠습니다. 개막식에 함께 해주신 여러분 감사합니다. 안녕히 돌아가십시오. 주요 내 외빈께서는 무대 위에서 기념 촬영에 임해 주시도록